Before we get into this one, if you're new here, welcome to Stage Wire. Tuesday night in Yokohama, SB19 didn't just wrap up their Japan trip, they closed it with the kind of event that felt completely different from everything that came before it. Inside KT Zepp Yokohama, 5 members who had spent the previous 2 weeks appearing on Japanese television and major festival stages finally got a chance to slow down, play games, talk directly with fans, and spend time with the people who had been following their journey. This is what happened at SB19's first ever Japan fan meeting. The event was called WaS There Thanksgiving Fanmeet 2026, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because this wasn't SB19's first stop in the series. 10 days earlier, on August 8th, they held the opening night at Grayton Resort and Casino outside Sacramento, California. Yokohama became the second and final stop, and Sony Music Japan promoted it as SB19's first ever fan meeting held on Japanese soil. And that distinction matters. This wasn't a concert built around a long performance set. It wasn't another festival appearance where thousands of people were watching from a distance. A fan meeting is designed to bring the artists and fans much closer together, with games, conversations, interactions, and performances all sharing the same space. But SB19 didn't arrive in Japan quietly. In the 2 weeks leading into the fan meeting, the group had already made its Japanese television debut on Nippon TV's morning program DayDay, where they performed their newest single, Lawless, live for Japanese viewers. Then came Summer Sonic. On August 14th, SB19 performed on the massive stage in Osaka. The following day, August 15th, they took the Pacific stage in Tokyo. And that Tokyo performance produced one of the biggest moments of their Japan trip when Japanese singer and actor Kento Nakajima joined SB19 during Gento. That surprise crossover quickly became one of the most talked about moments from the festival weekend. Add the Tower Records Shibuya pop-up that ran during the same period, along with the SB19 related promotional activities surrounding their Japan schedule, and the picture becomes much clearer. Yokohama wasn't an isolated event. It was the final stop of a packed Japan run that had already taken SB19 from television to festival stages and then, finally, into a venue built specifically around their fans. So when the lights went down inside KT Zepp Yokohama, there was already plenty of momentum in the room. SB19 opened with Visa, their entrance song, before moving into Gento. The night didn't spend much time building slowly. By the time Dunka entered the performance, it was already clear that this wasn't going to feel like a formal industry appearance. The atmosphere was much more relaxed. And that's where the fan meeting format really started to matter. Instead of simply moving from one song to another, SB19 spent a significant part of the evening interacting with the audience and taking part in games. Fan-shared clips and attendee reports described a word-guessing segment involving categories such as horror, science fiction, and drama. The members reacted to the prompts in real time, joked with each other, and tried to figure out the answers appearing on the screen. One of the rounds reportedly involved the Japanese city they were actually standing in, creating an especially fitting moment for an event that marked SB19's first fan meeting in Japan. Another interactive portion, referred to online as Ottenzi, gave the members another opportunity to communicate directly with the audience rather than simply performing from the stage. And that's the fundamental difference between this kind of event and a festival appearance. At Summer Sonic, the objective is performance. At a fan meeting, the fans themselves become part of the program. A festival crowd can number in the thousands, with multiple artists competing for attention throughout the day. A fan meeting creates a completely different environment. The group can stop, talk, joke around, react to individual moments, and allow the audience to participate. For Japanese Otten who had been waiting for the opportunity to see SB19 in a more intimate setting, that was arguably the most important part of the night. After the games and interaction segments, SB19 returned to performance mode. They performed I Want You and Moonlight, their 2024 collaboration involving producers Ian Asher and Terry Jeong. The change in atmosphere was noticeable. The earlier portion of the evening allowed the members' personalities to take center stage. The later performances shifted the focus back toward the music, giving the audience a chance to simply watch SB19 perform without the pressure of a massive festival schedule surrounding them. And when you step back from the individual moments, the significance of the event becomes easier to understand. SB19 was formed in the Philippines in 2018. 7 years later, they were standing on a stage in Yokohama, closing a Japan run that had included a national television debut, 2 Summer Sonic performances, an unexpected crossover with one of Japan's recognizable entertainers, and now a dedicated fan meeting. That progression is important, because international expansion isn't built from one giant moment. It's built from repeated exposure. First, people see you on television. Then they see you on a festival lineup. Then they watch your performance. Then they recognize your name. And eventually, some of those people become fans who are willing to buy tickets and show up specifically for you. That's the longer-term significance of what happened in Japan. The fan meeting itself also connects to the larger themes surrounding SB19's recent era. The WaS There Thanksgiving Fanmeet series and hashtags such as #WaS Simula Aftermath and #The Story Continues connect back to SB19's album, WaS at Simula. The title itself carries the idea of an ending and a beginning, and that concept fits the group's current stage surprisingly well. SB19 has spent years establishing itself in the Philippines. Now, more and more of their activity is taking place outside the country, with international festival appearances, collaborations, television exposure, and fan events becoming increasingly important parts of the story. Japan became another piece of that expansion, and Yokohama provided a very different ending to the trip compared with how it started. The Japan chapter began with cameras and television lights. It continued with huge festival stages in Osaka and Tokyo. Tokyo then produced the unexpected Gento Nakajima moment. And finally, the trip ended in a room where SB19 could actually sit down and spend time with the people who had followed them through all of it. That's a very different kind of milestone. There was no need for a massive festival crowd. No international lineup. No surprise guest. Just SB19 and their fans. And sometimes, that's exactly what makes an event memorable. For the group, this Japan run wasn't simply about performing in another country. It gave them multiple ways to connect with a new audience: television viewers, festival goers, Japanese music fans, and finally the Otten who specifically came to see them. So where does that leave SB19 after Yokohama? For now, the fan meeting marked the close of this Japan chapter, bringing together the different pieces of a packed international schedule into one final event. From Sacramento to Yokohama, WaS There Thanksgiving Fanmeet series also gave fans on 2 different continents the opportunity to experience SB19 in a much more personal setting. And if there's one thing worth taking away from the entire Japan stretch, it's that SB19 didn't need every moment to be enormous for the trip to matter. A television appearance, 2 festival stages, a surprise Japanese crossover, and finally, a room full of fans who got to laugh, play games, and spend time with the group. Together, those moments tell a much bigger story than any single performance could. SB19's Japan run is now in the books, but the bigger question is what comes next. Because once an artist moves from simply performing in a new market to building actual connections with its audience, the next step becomes much more interesting. That's the story from Yokohama. If you've been following SB19's Japan journey, tell us which moments stood out to you most. DayDay, Summer Sonic Osaka, Summer Sonic Tokyo, Gento Nakajima joining Gento, or the Yokohama fan meeting. Hit like if you enjoyed the breakdown, share this with another Otten, and subscribe to Stage Wire with notifications turned on so you don't miss the next SB19 and PPOP international update. We'll see you in the next one.